Hello today, yo. This is McKinney. I don't have a particular agenda today. I just had a thought, something that came across my mind, and that was on my heart. So I just want to share this message with you guys. I want to talk to you right now about the importance of the father being in the house, and I just want you guys to understand, men to understand that I know that uh, some of you guys that have kids from different women, um, it's kind of maybe a little hard or a little difficult to get along with the woman or whatnot. But it's very important if you have a child from that woman is to try your best to stay in the house with that child. Reason being, when you leave that house, that child, your presence minimizes the development of how that girl or that boy grows up, but more particular, the young men. So, uh, if in the event that you have a child from a woman and you guys are not necessarily getting along with them, I just want to know it's very important that you stay in the house with that child. The overall development of a young man, it has a lot to do with that father being in the house with him. Particularly, my father was not in the house with me, so uh, there was a lot of things that questions that I had as a young man that the answers that I got them from the streets or whatnot. So that kind of had a large part in the way that I saw things, the way that I was developed in as far as growing into a man. And I know had I had my father there, things might have been a little different. But like I said, I'm not gonna keep you long, but it's just something that's on my mind. I just want to reiterate to all the men out there that have children and you're not particularly in a good spot with your with the mother. Try your best to stay in the house with your children. It's very important. When you're not there, your voice is minimized. These kids, they'll listen to you when you're not in the house, but your influence is not as strong when you're not in the house. These young men, these young natives, they need the guidance from their fathers. I don't care what you're going through with the woman. When you got with her and you laid down with her, everything was all good then. You had a child when she got pregnant. Some of you guys say, "Oh, that's not my baby," yada yada yada. So you was trying to shuck the responsibility of being a dad. But being a dad is a great responsibility. It's one of the greatest responsibilities that a man could have in his lifetime. So if you want to have a well-developed son, a well-developed daughter, do your best to stay in the house with that child. I know in some instances it's almost impossible, but in a lot of cases, I believe that the men out here do not want to stay in the house with the kids because they don't want to deal with the responsibility that comes along with raising a child. But it is your responsibility to raise that child. That child has your blood in it. That child, the understanding from that child, it comes from you. So his redemption or his way of a good way of being developed, it lies at your feet. So when you shuck those responsibilities or not dealing with that child or dealing with that your son or your daughter, it does them a great disjustice when you do that. So if you do not have the skills, if you feel you don't have the skills to raise a child, don't be afraid to go to another man that has already done it or one that's doing it. I'm sure that they have some type of information or something that they can help you with raising that child, because it's very important for you to stay in the house with that child. And what I mean by that is not just being in that child's life. You're in Albany and the child is in Atlanta, or you're in Augusta, and no, do your best to stay in the life of that child, because we have a lot going on out here in the community, and it has a lot to do with, I believe, is kids being without fathers, not having a male figure there to help them grow and develop in the way that they should. So, like I said, I'm not gonna keep you long. It's just something that was on my mind and on my heart that I thought about my son, and the way that I'm raising him, and then the way that I was raised, it was totally different. But I can see the difference with me being in the house with him, and then the difference in some kids that don't have their fathers in the house with them. So to those that can get that thing right with the mother of your kids and stay in the house with your child, I'm imploring you, please do that. It does a great injustice for that child not to be raised in the same house with the father. So, I'm not male bashing, but guys, I'm just saying, go ahead and accept the responsibility, for these children. And I guarantee you that you'll see a better child. You'll have a better product coming out on the back end. Again, this is McKinney, just a small message I wanted to give, and you guys have a nice day. Later.